Hey, good morning, guys. So, we are getting ready to start our science lesson. So, it just says good morning. So, today is Friday, October the 23rd, 2020. So, this is our science class. And I just put some cute little Bitmojis on here just for science and for Friday. Um, Always kind of cute and fun. All right, so our I can statements. So, the first one is I can learn about science. The next one is I can identify science vocabulary. And then the last one is I can answer questions about a text. And a lot of our I can statements kind of look pretty similar, especially with reading, because a lot of times science is naturally embedded into reading and vice versa. So it's really nice to be able to kind of focus on those same goals. All right. So our vocabulary for this lesson. So the first one is go. So again, we talked about that word in our reading lesson. So go just means that something's moving. So it can be I'm moving, like I'm going to the door, or it could be something else. Is maybe you're telling something else to move, to go away. I was thinking maybe like an animal or something like if they're messing with maybe your school stuff, you say go. Um, so that's our word go. It's got the arrow because it means like a movement. The next one is push. So this is a really good picture of someone pushing. So it means to push against an object. Um, and then the next word is pull. So in this picture, he's pulling a wagon. So pulling. So we're really focusing on motion and how things move. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and go into. So we are going to be using something called Savvis Realize, which is a new program that JCPS is using. And instead of us doing it separate, I want to really start by doing it together. I think that will help if I can kind of walk you all through it. Um, and I think it will be a little bit easier to kind of do our science lesson. This is pretty similar to how we would do it in person. We would, get in a big group and kind of go through a lesson. So again, we're working on pushing and pulls. So I'll go ahead and bring up our lesson. So right here, we're going to actually start with our science song, which I thought was really cute.
If you want to move the ball,
use the force.
If you want to move the ball,
use the force.
If you want it to go far, kick it hard and there you are.
You just move the ball by using lots of force.
If you want the swing to move,
use some force.
If you want the swing to move,
use some force.
Give a push, it starts to go back and forth. And did you know you got the swing to move and didn't using force?
All right, I thought that was very cute. So we started with our story, and then we're going to go into our lesson. So they call it an e-text. It's just a book on the computer. So we're going to work through our pushing and pulling. All right, and I thought this was a really cute picture. I know the kids will like it, of two dogs. So one is pulling and one is they're both kind of pulling and pushing on the stick. All right, so we're going to go into our lesson, first lesson. All right, so we already reviewed a couple vocabulary words, but so our I can for the Savvis program is I can observe how objects move. So observe just means watch and look, and we're thinking about how things move. So again, we're talking about pushing, and it just says you can push an object to move it away from you. So you can push to move an object away and pull. You can pull an object to move it towards you. So those are our vocabulary words. And then right down here, it just says, so these are some questions. So how are the dogs moving the toy? So we can look at our dogs up here. How are they moving it? So they've both got a toy. and they're playing back and forth like tug of war. So both of them are kind of pulling. So they're both pulling the toy. And then our second question is, how can you move something? So remember, um, we can move something by pulling it to us. This is just a fuzzy pen, or pushing it away. So let me see if I can show you on my desk. Okay, so if I am pushing it, I'm going to push it away. So I'm pushing it away. But if I'm going to pull, I'm going to pull it close to me. So that's how we move things, by pushing and pulling. All right. And this just says, how can we make objects move? So we just I showed you that. So can you make objects move? So the answer is yes, of course you can. So it doesn't matter how tall you are, how small you are, it doesn't matter. Um, you might not have as much strength as some people, but that doesn't matter. You can still push or pull. And that might be something that you all practice, and it can be really simple. Maybe just have like a soft ball and you practice pushing it away. And say maybe you don't have really good strength in your hands. You can practice with your legs, you can practice with your head, pushing and, pulling. If you can't pull with your hands, you could always, parents, you could maybe help your child put something around their hand that pulls. Like the wagon has a handle. You could put like a piece of yarn or something onto something and practice pulling. So this just says try it and observe what happens. So we just talked about that. So yeah, try it at home. Practice pushing and pulling different objects. So the worksheet that goes with this lesson, so I will make sure to upload it so that if you all want to work on it, you can. So this is just, it's called a lab, but it's something that you all can do at home. And remember, parents, you can initiate these things. So it says, think of ways to make the object move. So this could be parents, you all could be helping your child do this. You could be doing full physical if they really struggle. You can do it, take as much time as you need. You can do it in natural ways. So, they're outside, they've got a swing and they might be pushing it. Do it where it works naturally throughout the day. Um, Observe where the objects go. And this could be just asking. So, say you have a dog and you throw their toy, where did their toy go? That's a really good way to think about, objects and moving. And it can be on a big scale or a small scale, whatever works in your home. Show where it goes. So again, if you have, a toy or something and you throw it, where does it go? You can, walk out there and look. You can, if you're in a wheelchair, parents, you can roll your child out there and look where the object goes. And that just kind of helps with understanding how things move. So, and then this last one is really optional. So it just says, how did the object move? So you all don't have to write this. You can use a communication device. You can speak the words out loud. You could draw a picture. Um, or parents, you could just talk about this with your kids. So you might say, how did the object move? So I saw that the object, the toy, I threw it. So, I pushed it away from me and it went, a couple feet away, and go see it. There's really a lot of ways to do this, that you can kind of differentiate and make it work for your child at home. And these are just some suggested materials, so things you can use in practice. So if you have wood blocks, that would be a great thing to do, practicing pushing and pulling. Now, I wouldn't suggest like throwing wooden blocks, but maybe like a soft toy or something like that. All right, so we see our vocabulary words again. So push and pull. So it says you can push an object to move it away from you. Remember, you can push an object to move it away from you. Second one says you can pull an object to move it close to you. So this is just our reading check, and this has a cause and effect. So this is kind of something that we don't talk about too much, but it's something that we kind of naturally already see. If you push over your drink, that's a cause. The effect is, the drink spills on the floor. These are things that a lot of kids just know naturally by just observing and watching in the world. So what we're going to do is we're going to look at our pictures. So in this picture, we see a push and a pull. And what it's wants you to do is look at the picture. So you could just talk about the picture. So we see that there's a man pushing a girl on a sled. And then we also see a little boy is pulling the sled as well. So we see a push and a pull. So the next question is, does it show a push? And we say, yes, it does. Right there, we see it. Does it show a pull? And yes, it does. We see the little boy pulling. And then the next question is, write push or pull for each picture. So this is really good for our writing practice. So I just have a dry erase board, so I'm just going to write the word push. So there we go. Oh, make sure you see it. Push. So go ahead and write that at home, practice. Or you can, if you don't want to write it, you can find the letters on your device. So the word push has P-U-S-H, push. And then we're also going to look at the second picture where the little boy is pulling. So we're going to write that word. So this word is, here we go, pull. So we see P-U-L-L, pull. All right, and then, this is an investigation or something that you all could do at home. So stand blocks in a path. Push the first one. Tell what happens. So this is just a good way to practice at home. If you build blocks and you push one, what happens? And then the next one says, tell how a push or pull can make something move. So remember, we already talked about this a little bit, and I'll show you again. So when you push something, you push it away from you. When you pull something to you. All right, so this says ways objects move. So a push or pull can change the way an object moves. So the ball rolls to the boy. So let's see if we see it. Oh, there it is, right there. You see the ball? So the ball rolls to the boy, and he's getting ready to kick it. Then it says the boy pushes it with a kick. The ball moves away from the boy. So remember, he's pushing, right? He's pushing with his feet. Don't have to be your hands. So you're pushing something away. All right, and then let's look at our pictures. So what it's wanting us to do is look at the pictures and draw an arrow to show direction. So what we're doing is just showing direction. So, and again, you all could do this together. You and one of your student, or you could have them do it on a device. Or you could draw out some pictures and just practice that way. So I'm going to draw, and I'm not the best drawer, but I'm going to draw someone that is kicking a ball. Hoping that you all can see this. So I have a little person, and he's kicking. You see his feet, and he's kicking the ball, kicking it. So there's the direction. He's kicking against the ball. So his leg is going that way. And then we also are going to look at pulling. So there's another little boy right here, and he is pulling. He's pulling a suitcase. So I'll draw him. So here he is, and he's walking in this direction, and he's pulling his suitcase. So there's an arrow. And again, you all can practice these at home. So we're just pushing and pulling. All right, so this is our next part. So this one says shapes of sails. So this is definitely something that we work on in our class. So shapes and sails. So wind pushes sails of all shapes. The best shape will get more wind. Draw a sail for your car. Talk with a partner. Tell why your sail shape is best. I'm going to draw a couple different shapes for us so we can just kind of review. And again, this is great practice for you all to do at home. So work on drawing with me. Work on identifying shapes with your device. Parents, you could draw out these really easy on flashcards and have them practice touching. Whatever works for you. All right, so I just did some review. So we have our triangle right here. We have our circle, our square, and our rectangle. So most of the time when we think about sails, so they're usually triangles. So I'm going to draw a picture for you. I'm not the best artist, but here we go. So here's our boat and our sails. So our sails are usually triangle, and it helps with the wind to be able to pick up that wind and move. All right, and we are finished with this lesson. So I am going to go back. We're going to watch a little quick video, and then I'm going to have us watch a really short video from Brain Pop, which I know you all love. There's also, in this page, there's some coloring sheets that are to do with force. Sorry guys, give me just a second. Sorry, technology sometimes goes at its own pace. That's how it works. All right, so there was our cute little story with our dogs pushing and pulling. And then there's a really cute little video that I wanted you all to watch that's kind of demonstrates push and pull. All right, there we go. So we're in the lesson 1, push and pull. We've already done our text. We're going to watch our video. Thank you all for waiting. Thank you. And that's sign language for wait. Usually it's like this.
Pushing a button. Pulling up my socks. Pushing my brother in a wheelchair. Or pulling him in a wagon. These are all examples of 2 movements, push and pull. You can make things move by pushing them or by pulling them. Let's learn more about push. A push is when you move something away from you. Let's learn more about pushing in my garden. I push this shovel into the ground. Then I put the dirt in the wheelbarrow. How do I move the wheelbarrow? I push it. Now what about pull? A pull is when you move something toward you. Watch this. See that? I pulled a rabbit out of the box. Or a ball. Or a toy car. Or my favorite stuffed bear. I can even pull him in for a hug. Aw. Let's dance. I'll pull you toward me. And then we dance for a bit until I turn and push away. See? We can both push and pull.
All right, so that is the last of our Sabbath lesson. It's very, very cute. So remember too, guys, that if you all, this is kind of a long lesson, so if you all need a break, just pause this video, take a movement break, go for a walk, and come back and finish the lesson. Anytime, any of our recorded lessons are great for that. All right, so our last video that we're going to watch is Brain Pop Jr.
Ready to play baseball? Hey, what is position? Position is the location of an object. I'm on top of the pitcher's mound. You're next to home plate. What is motion? Motion is a change in position. When I throw the ball, I put it in motion, and its position changes. Nice hit, Moby! As you run around the bases, your position changes. You're in motion. When something travels or turns around, it's in motion. Things are in motion when they move back and forth, side to side, and up and down. Things can also move diagonally. A roller coaster can twist and turn in different ways, or move in loops or circles. Speed describes how fast something moves. Some things move fast and can go really far in just a short amount of time. Other things move a lot slower. What are pushes and pulls? A force is a push or pull that can change the way something moves. A push or pull can change an object's position or put it in motion. You can push to open doors or pull to close them. You can push a cart across the floor or pull a wagon behind you. You can even pull to pick things up. When you throw a ball, you pull your hand back and then push the ball to put it in motion. Heavy things need more force to put them in motion. A bowling ball is pretty heavy. You need to use a lot of force to put it in motion. It's a lot easier to move lighter things. What is friction? Friction is a force that slows down moving things. When you ride a skateboard, you drag your foot on the ground to slow down. You use friction. It's pretty easy to skate on a smooth street. But it's really hard to skate on grass. You might stumble or trip. The grass is thick and bumpy. Friction between the wheels and the grass makes it hard to skate. Since there's less friction between the wheels and the smooth street, it's a lot easier to skate, and you can go a lot faster. Friction is a force pushes against an object to slow its motion. When you run and slide into home base, your body moves forward, but friction pushes in the opposite direction to slow you down. Great job, Moby! But you didn't tag home base.
All right, so that concludes our lesson today. So again, just practice. You can re-watch this whenever you want. I will go ahead and post one of those assignments. And again, just provide me any feedback that you want. All right, I will see you next time. Bye, guys.